Okay, folks, what we're going to do in this video is take it from where we were, where we just had our sheet laid out, to actually throwing in dimensions and showing you some things with dimensions. Um, so let's try to find, here's one that's blank. It's back here, another one that's blank. So either one of these orientations is going to work for what we're doing. It's the same size sheet, it's just one's flipped vertically and one's flipped horizontally. What you don't want to do is have your stuff going into your title block, so make sure it's pulled up above the title block, and then make sure you have all your labels and the shading done prior to this next step. But what we're trying to do here is put all the dimensions and show each dimension once and only once. And we're trying to do it in a way where things get less confusing for the person out there who's looking at this. And I think I told you maybe some tricks. But the idea is we're going to put dimensions on these views, and these views, and all the dimensions, as much as we can, are going to be right in between the views. So my top view dimensions are going to go over here, my right side are going to go over here, and my front view dimensions are going to go right there. And it's a good way to help separate the three different dimensions. So turn on dimension up here on the top, and click the top line and the bottom line, and just bring it over. So 0.79, that's what that is. And then how far is it from the center of this opening to there? Let's pull that over. So not only do we have size dimensions, but we also have location dimensions, and that's like a distance where something gets located. A couple more on this top view. We've got what are going to be the diameters of the plastic piece that sticks out there. So I'm going to click that one. Oh, it's the same exact one. I must have picked the wrong line. So let's get way in there, turn on dimensions, and make sure we get that line. And that's the one. Now, you'd like to pull these out and have them be at 45-degree angles, but that's not always going to be the case. So do your best. And real quickly, these lines that come down on an angle with an arrow, those are called leader lines. Leader, like L-E-A-D-E-R. And then these lines here in between, or you have a dimension in between with arrows on both ends, so that, let's say from here to here is this much. Those are called dimension lines. And then these lines that come off the part and get really close but they don't touch, those are called extension lines. Okay, so we've got a bunch of dimensions. These are actually depth dimensions from the front edge to the back edge, just shown off to the side. Okay, over to the front view. We're going to do something very similar. We'll go with the big one first, which is the overall width. And then I think we can... let's go ahead and hit the halfway point there. And that'll let us kind of see how this is centered. And we've got this guy here. We can bring that. Don't really want to bring it out there, so I'm going to bring it over here. You want to try to get the dimensions in between the views as much as possible. Am I missing any more of my widths? I don't think so. I've located this whole. You could get ticky-tacky and do something like, let's see, zoom in here, from here, this line to this line and up. And that would let you know that you weren't just talking about this hole on the side. You hit escape. If you're like me and you pulled this up too far, you should be able to grab it and just pull it down. There we go. So grab right on the numbers and pull it down. I don't like that these put these to the outside, but I just stick it in the middle, but then the arrows go to the outside, so that's great. I'm going to undo that move and just leave it the way it came. Good enough. All right, so we have all the depths in the top view and the widths in the front view, and guess what? The last kind of dimension, we're going to put the heights on the right side view. So make sure dimensions turned on. You start with the bigs and work your way to the littles. So that's the biggest. We got this one is the second biggest, and we can locate the height of the center of this circle, hopefully. Yeah. So you got to click the center point and the edge and come over there. All right. So we've got all the three heights. We've got the diameter of that. We made all these holes the same. So if you have multiple features that are the exact same, you can double click on the dimension, get in here and type in these magic letters, TYP. which stands for typical. And that means anytime you see a hole like that, they're all going to be the same, and this is the dimension for it. Similarly, I put little baby fillets on all the corners and edges to kind of mimic what was going on with that cube. And so if I got in here and turned on dimension and click this, I get this thing that says R3. Okay, bring that out. What that means is it has a radius of 3/100ths of an inch. And because it's all the same, I'm going to double click on that one. Or actually, let's hit escape and then double click on it and type in the magic letters TIP, TYP, and now somebody reading this could tell that yes, indeed, they're all the same. All right. Now, before I let you go, this is a pretty long video. We're in 6 minutes now, getting right around 6 minutes. We're only going to the 100th place, and that's not going to be good enough. So how do you make it so it's more than just the 100th place? Like, you could turn this in, and people could make this, and that would be fine. But we need to have a little more precision. We said we're going to measure to the thousandths and estimate the 10,000ths place. So if you see here, I went to the caret next to document settings, and I've got a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm going to click on this one, linear dimension precision. Open that up or edit it. And I'm just going to take it to, I don't know, let's go to the 4th spot. And angular precision, sure, we can take that to the 4th spot too. I don't think we have any angles. And then we can display trailing 0. So if something was right on the money, a trailing 0 would show that 0. And so boom, all of these digits got big. Now you might want to go back and check and see if you have any overlapping like this one. And if so, just kind of try to rearrange them a little bit so that it can be clear to someone looking at it what's going on. So here you go, 7 minutes dimensioning your work.